Good afternoon. Welcome to our Thursday marketing webinar with Chris Amos. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Today, Chris is going to be talking to us about marketing trends for 2021 and beyond. So now that we're halfway through 2021, it would be good to know a lot of these upcoming trends and especially moving into 2022.
Yep.
So let's take it away.
All right. Well, today's class, not a lot of examples really to show, but, you're going to see my pretty face. I'm back here in my office here at the Tech Accelerator, which I love. Thank you very much, Julie. So a couple of big things that, I want to point out to everybody here is, the trends that we're seeing are just incredible. COVID, love it, hate it, obviously not a great thing, but if there's a silver lining in the whole thing, it's that it's really ushered in that digital age, and it's here. I mean, it was always here to stay, but it's definitely at the forefront of everybody's mind. More and more people have gone digital, and it's because obviously out of necessity. We, having access to information is critical when we were all, stuck in our houses and, not able to go out and all this other stuff. I mean, it really kind of reared its head that a lot of people joined the digital age. I mean, jumped on social media channels saw exponential growth. So now it's really up to us as business owners to understand, well, how can we utilize this new traffic, these new people to really create new clients, new loyal clients to our businesses? So a couple of things that we're going to go over today are going to be social. UX design, content, personalization. There's a lot of things, like I said, and all of these fit hand in hand. The last one that I saved the best for last, which is going to be Omnichannel. We're going to talk about a kind of a great little trend here that I think is going to yield amazing results for small businesses when it's done the right way. So again, let's go ahead and get started. So social media. So what, I mean, obviously we all know, we, love it or hate it, it's here. It's something that people are on every single day. Facebook's over, I think, 3 billion users now. I mean, it's a part of our life, whether you want to love it or hate it. So as a business owner, though, we really need to learn to embrace social media. The challenge that most business owners have, though, is that they don't understand how to use it and they don't understand when to use it. And so, oftentimes they look to, friends, family, maybe, somebody that they know that does really well with marketing. They'll ask some tips or tricks, but truthfully, the answer comes from within. And I don't say that to be corny. I don't say that to, defer or deflect. It's truthful. Us as business owners, we know our clients the best. So when it comes to social media and how to do it and when to do it, you really need to take a good, hard look at your business. And you need to understand who your target demographic is. And if you've ever attended my little seminars before, you learn I say this consistently. You got to understand who your target demographic is, and you got to speak to that target audience. All too often, we try to mold ourselves into something that we're not. We look at somebody's social media, and this is my favorite thing is always when I talk to a client, they say, hey, I need some help with social media. Great, we can do that. Well, I want this, I want my social media to look at this. And you take a look at whatever, they're showing us, and you just, it's almost, you laugh because it's like, well, why do you even want that? Why? I mean, you do this, they do that. How is that at all relevant for you? And it's not, is the answer. So really channeling this to fit your bill, to fit your target demographic, to fit your target audience, that's really what this is all about. So an example that I would give you is this, and this is what we always start exercises out with our clients, is that we want everybody to take a step back and really evaluate, okay, who are you going after? Now, and again, we don't mean to be crude or too salesy or, put numbers on people. That's not the point of it. But truthfully, we have to get down to the nuts and bolts of everything to understand how we're going to move forward. An example that I give is if my target demographic was an 18 to 24-year-old, I'm going to use very different channels than somebody who's 65 plus. I mean, that just makes sense, right? And those different channels yield different results. And so we have to be realistic. That's why it's so important for you to understand who this target demographic is. Now, the other thing I will preface is this. It doesn't have to be just one. We don't have, as a business owner, we don't have to just say, well, my target demographic is 55 plus. If you're a Medicare agent, okay, maybe that's all you're going to really work with, right? But if you're an insurance agent, an auto repair shop, retail store, options are endless. But the point is that when you really look at that, your target demographic might be everybody. And in which case, we really need to break that up to understand how we're going to attack social media. So for the majority of us, let's just say Facebook. 3 billion users. It's a safe bet that, a good chunk of people, are probably on it. And it's a viable medium to target your target demographic. Now, again, if I broke this down and I said, you know what, my target demographic, we're going after for this particular product, we're looking at the 18 to 24-year-old. And for this product, we're looking at this. And for this product, we're looking at this. Now, again, by breaking that down, that's going to help me as a business owner or even a marketer, but it's going to help me as a business owner understand, okay, for this target demographic, if I'm trying to target that 18 to 24-year-old, I might utilize things like TikTok. I might utilize Snapchat, Instagram. Those are going to be go-to platforms for that because that's where the kids are. Or not kids, young adults, excuse me. That's where the young adults are. Now, if I want to go 25 to 35, you got new homeowners in that, new families or young families. So again, different target demographic. Still largely probably going to hit up Instagram. That's a good one for that. We're going to need dynamic visuals. Might find a handful of them over in Pinterest, or LinkedIn for the professional side of things as careers start to develop. You might also look at Facebook. Again, you'll find a handful of them there. Pinterest back to the families, targeting a female demographic there. So there's a lot of different angles that we can go at. So again, that 25 to really 45-year-old, that's a real versatile crowd because there's a lot of platforms that they're on. That's kind of like the birth of social really in that demographic, that all of these things kind of came to light, and a handful of them migrated here, over here, over here, over here. And so again, you'll have to largely find out, depending on your business and what you do, there's going to be a right fit for you or a better fit. You can still target all of them, but it gets to be a lot of work. So again, but nailing down your target demographic is going to be, incredibly important. If I was targeting, let's just say a 30 and up, I'm definitely going to go to Facebook. That's a pretty safe bet. Most of that demographic is going to have at least a Facebook and Instagram page. And by targeting both of those, we're going to probably capture the majority of our market. Now, for social, the big thing to understand with trending, and again, understanding our clients for that matter, is what to post and how to post. So number one thing that I see businesses doing wrong with social is it's all the me stuff. They want to showcase, if you're a contractor, all they want to do is showcase the jobs that they've done and attract new business. They look at social media as a lead generator. While it can be used for that, that's not really the primary function. Really, the primary function is to keep your business top of mind to potential clients. And how do we do that? By generating followers. How do we do that? By creating engaging content. So it really works in synergy together, but by taking these steps and by doing these things, ultimately we're setting ourselves up for success. So the example that I give, if I was a contractor and sure, I have a beautiful, let's say a remodel job that I did on a kitchen and everything's great, we would absolutely want to feature that. That would, I would not want to do that. But at the same time, it's all in how we position that photo. It's all in how we position the content relative to that. So you got to remember as a business owner, content is king. And so we need to make sure that we ask our clients for feedback. We need to make sure to create engaging posts. We might ask a question, take a poll, put a link in there to our blog. I mean, there's a number of different things. So not everything is going to be a me post saying, hey, schedule an appointment with me today. Hey, 15% off, this, and this. So you need to diversify. The other thing that consumers want to see, and again, statistically speaking, we need to humanize our brands. This is where, again, and I've been preaching this for a while, but now statistically, it's a trend. So when we look at this, a lot of people, because we've been locked up in our houses, because we've seen a lot of, let's just say challenges out there in the world, people are looking for that give back moment. People are looking for that emotional connection to a brand. And how do they get that? Well, it's not by looking at your products and services. That fulfills a need. But really to create that emotional connection, what we want to look at on this is our staff, the people, the human factor behind things. We want to see, okay, who's the owner? Who's the CEO? Is that just like a mystical person behind the scenes that just collects all the money and runs off to Vegas? I mean, who knows? Or is it the hardworking, young family that's supporting, 4 kids and, this and that. So don't underestimate that connection point. And with, again, that people, that human element. Feature the staff. Puppies and babies sell everything. If you haven't heard me say that one, I've said it numerous times. Puppies and babies sell everything. We're redesigning our About Us page. If you ever look at our website, I feature my dogs. They're the family. I'll tell you what, We have 6, by the way, 6 dachshunds. So it's really like one big dog. It's like a Great Dane, but just 6 times, I guess. But anyway, that's our family. And so we feature those on there. We give them fun names. Again, it creates engagement. You don't know how many comments we get on that about how cute that is or this or that. So it's just, again, it's fun. It's humanizing my brand. Other ways to connect with people, charities, nonprofits. I mean, again, as small business owners, we give back a lot. We really do. We oftentimes don't get credit for it either, and that's okay. Again, we do it. We have a benevolent agenda, right? We don't need that recognition. But as the marketing guy, I'm, selfishly, I'm here for my client's best interest. So I do want to get credit for that. So I would encourage you, again, it's not being arrogant. It's not being selfish. It's not like, necessarily that you're doing it, for that reason. So don't let it take away from the overall meaning. But getting credit for what you guys do out there in the community, blood drives, supporting a nonprofit. Like we build websites for nonprofits all the time, little landing pages to help them out, create a little visibility for them, stuff like that. And again, emotionally, it's worth its weight in gold to me. It's a feel good moment. I love it. I have no regrets whatsoever. But at the same time, it would be best for us to, work with those organizations to maybe get a little visibility as well. There's no harm in that. So again, work with those nonprofits. I think that that's a great way to humanize the brand. Again, any give back, educational, you name it. Like I said, there's a variety of ways to create that emotional bond or connection with clients. So, and that's another great way for social media or for you to capture that audience on social media. The next thing that we want to talk about, how you utilize, when you post. So when you post, again, this is just common sense stuff. Now, again, we could go into graphical or statistical models, and it could tell you, best time to post is at 8:43 in the morning. But again, that's for the birds. As small business, I'm going to tell you this, and just real talk, you need to think about just common sense. When are your clients likely to be on? Again, if we just think common sense wise, if my target demographic is, just a working class individual, which most of us is, we're going to likely see people on their phones or on social media, which again, largely is dominated by mobile, right? So we're largely going to see people on 7 to 9 o'clock, again, on that way to work, just before work, or just after sitting down at the desk. We're going to see people around lunchtime. So 11 to 1, you're going to see people on there. And then after work, 4 to, let's just say 8 o'clock. I mean, that's when I'm going to post. That's when I want to get my message out there, because I know, statistically speaking, that's more likely when people are going to be on. Probably lean heavier to the afternoon or morning. So again, that's just me, and that's based on my business and how I look at things. Your business could be completely different, but again, think about who your target demographic is and think about when you think it would be, you'd most likely reach them. And then over time, you're going to be your own analytics to tell when are they actually on. So food for thought. Like I said, just really pay attention to that. The other thing with social too, make sure that you have your Facebook Business Manager set up for Facebook and Instagram. That's where your analytics is going to live. So again, I really, really, really highly encourage you, set that up. The other thing I would also encourage, and last thing on social, is going to be to set up that pixel code. I can't say enough about it. I know people don't want to be tracked. There's a lot of privacy things going on. Facebook certainly doesn't have the best reputation for that. But at the end of the day, we're business owners and we need to make sure that we have access to information. And so that's where we get that from. It can really, really, really save you a ton of money in the long run, especially on lead generation. I will tell you, you really want to focus on that, have that pixel code on there. And then again, it'll cut your marketing budgets down for retargeting significantly. So have that on there, have access to it, because that'll help you long term. You'll be able to really see what your ROI is from social media. Next up, UX design. So I talked about this before. This was, this is a big, big subject right now. UX design really plays into Google's new core algorithm update called Core Vitals. You can Google it. There's a lot of information on it. I think we're still, as marketers, learning and understanding what's going on and how it's truly impacting businesses. But Google doesn't roll these out in one massive update anymore. They've learned their lesson. That's usually not great because it largely screws up Google. But they've learned over time now that, again, they roll things out in phases to make sure that there's no detrimental impacts overall to search. So as different components of this new Core Vitals update come in, again, we're learning a lot of things. We're learning what Google's looking for and what they perceive. Now, this whole algorithm update, to simplify it, is really just focused on the user experience. Google has a vested interest in making sure that consumers have the best possible experience on their platform. Why? Well, because simply put, they won't use it if they don't. So, I mean, it's just common sense. They're going to really work hard to make sure that a consumer, when they search, they get the absolute best results possible. So how do we convince Google that we're the right fit? And so that's a really easy answer, actually. Google is all based on trust and authority. The way that they rank, and again, that's an oversimplification, but the way that Google ranks and the way that their algorithm work is all designed to build that trust and authority from your website, to build that trust and authority with them. Google needs to trust you that you are an authority on your subject. Okay, so if you're a plumber, they want to know you are the best darn plumber out there. How do they do that? Well, that's what they're ranking up. That's what their algorithms look for. Ratings and reviews from clients, how awesome your website is. Is it filled with great content? Did you just copy somebody else's? How fast is your website? Is it flow right? Do you have your sitemap, your robot text files? Do you have all these little SEO attributes set up? I mean, there's really a lot to it. It's not just a simple thing that, again, there's certain things as business owners you can do, but there's other things that, again, a professional does need to step in and really make sure that it's done right. Or you can learn about it. There's a lot of great courses out there too. But the big thing that I would emphasize on this is that from a UX design standpoint, page speed is by far one of the most important things for us to remember. There's a very simple way to check your page speed. Just go onto Google and just type in Google page speed or page speed insights if that didn't come up. So a simple search of that will pull up Google PageSpeed Insights. It's a Google developer link. And again, you can put your URL in there and it'll unload a ton of information for you. And if you need help understanding that, please give us a call. I'm more than happy to walk you through it, help you understand what needs to be done. Again, advice is always free, but I would really encourage that you do that, because I tell you what, that Google's doing it. Google's doing that every single day on your website. So you need to make sure that you take a vested interest in that. The theory is the faster and more nimble the site, the better off a consumer's experience is going to be, better off you're going to rank. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. So there's a lot more to it, but again, in a nutshell. So really think that through. If there's something you need help with or you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Next up, which plays into that, is going to be content. Content is king. So trending for 2021 is, again, you're seeing a renewed emphasis on businesses investing in their content. And that's a really great thing. Why? You cannot rank if you don't talk about it. That's a simple concept that we teach businesses. If you don't want to talk about, if you're a plumber and you don't talk about drain cleaning, guess what you're not going to rank for? Drain cleaning. It's pretty simple. So how do you talk about it? How much content? Well, that's going to be based on your competition and really how much relevant information you have. I always tell businesses, if you're an insurance agent, an auto repair shop, a business, or an insurance business, any of these, there's only so much you can really say. And, again, we understand auto insurance, but maybe think outside the box. Well, how does auto insurance benefit you? What are the top 10 questions people ask you? There's a variety of ways to build content. I think the idea is just to make sure it's relevant, and do yourself a favor. Don't go copy somebody else's. There's no uniqueness to that content. It doesn't serve you in any way, shape, or form. You can use other sites for inspiration to see how people do things, but ultimately, I really encourage businesses, write your own. It's really, please take that serious. Write your own. You don't need to infringe on other people's copyrights. You don't need to, get yourself in trouble for that stuff. Do yourself a favor. And truthfully, too, the big picture that I look at is that when we speak from the heart and we speak from our own expertise, well, it only establishes us as an authority on the matter. I want to make sure that, again, just like these presentations, when somebody meets with me, this is me. This is what you get. And so I want to make sure that if they're reading the website, that they're going to get the same experience on a website that they do over here, that they do on social media, because again, consistency with the brand ultimately creates a better user experience. So again, think that one through. Next up, personalization. I can tell you, it's definitely come a long way. Again, it started off with just, personalized email taglines like, "Hey, Bob, thanks for connecting with us," something like that. Now you get personalized SMS messages. You can get personalized interactions on social media. There's so many different ways to do that. But again, personalization creates that almost instantaneous connection with that individual, right? If you say your name, you're more likely to connect with that than, "Hey, how's it going?" Or "Good afternoon." Those generic, or "Hey, customer." Come on. So again, if you can feature, if you've invested in a CRM, likely that those features are available for you. But even something as simple as like MailChimp, Constant Contact, both of those have personalization features on them where you can customize your email list. You can send them out, again, if you're really fancy and let's just say you're an insurance agent and they have an auto insurance policy, you can set up email campaigns and drips that, will focus on maybe in helping them understand the value behind their plan, but more so maybe in getting them, interested in other products and services. But again, you're addressing their individual needs. Auto repair, again, when let's just say you take your car into the shop and you get, this is a very common one, but you get an oil change. And again, that personalized message, hey, it's been 6 months since your last oil change. Not sure if you hit 5,000 miles yet, but, bring your car in for a free inspection. Something like that. Again, they know what time you came in last. They're addressing you by name. There's a lot of personalization behind that. And again, statistically, you're more likely to connect with it. There's even awesome stuff now. Like, again, just bought a truck last year. And so I get personalized emails, text messages. I get postcards in the mail, all sorts of stuff reminding me about maintenance and this and that I'm not driving out to Gilbert to do, but here nor there. But again, I will say, I look at all of them. I mean, it catches my attention. So, there's a value in doing that type of stuff. So I would encourage you, again, you can get really fancy with personalization, or you can just be really simple and stick to emails, but you got to start somewhere is the point. Along that line, again, we kind of just briefly touched on it, but SMS this year, I'll tell you, a lot of people are adopting it. A lot of people are going to it. I hate to say this, but, we, as our baby boomer generation ages and, our seniors age, that the use of the telephone is diminishing, if that makes sense. There's just so many other communication options out there and people just seem to avoid the phone. I mean, I don't know if that's everybody's experience, but a lot of the times people don't want to pick up the phone. I have clients, again, that spend a lot of money with us that they don't call me, they text me. They'll email me, they'll do the chat on our website, but I'll tell you what, they will not pick up the phone. And so, that presents challenges for some businesses, and others have been early adopters of the technology. So SMS and chat is a really, really big thing this year. Google has just they just launched Google Messenger. And so again, within Google My Business, you can activate the messaging feature, which it'll send you a direct message to your phone. So people can do it from the desktop or a mobile device. So that's pretty cool. So a lot of platforms are investing in this. And again, it's just, we're providing a number of different ways for clients to communicate, and we want to make sure that we connect with them. So embrace SMS, embrace chat. Those are two really, really awesome new features. Next up, analytics. You've probably heard me talk about this before. Analytics is everything to me. Now, again, I do run a marketing agency, but I will say analytics is your driving force. It is, it validates everything that you do and what you think. You really need, in order to perfect campaigns and to make them everything that you need them to be, you really need to look at your analytics to understand, are you targeting the right person? Are you getting an ROI out of it? Because ROIs come in a variety of different forms. A lot of people just look at it like, oh, well, how many appointments did I book? Or, something like that. That's not the only, byproduct of marketing. There's clicks to websites, there's impressions, there's just general visibility in a marketplace. So there's a lot that goes into that. And that comes down to setting the right goals, and that's a whole nother conversation. But I will say your analytics is what really should drive the direction of the business. I always say, you know what, we don't make perception-based decisions in my business. We make fact-based decisions. And how do we make fact? By looking at the numbers. We can easily go to a website and say, okay, we need to improve this page because this is the lowest trafficked page on the site. Statistically, we can look at analytics and we can tell that. Or, hey, this type of post on social media did really well because it got 3 times the engagement of every other post. Statistically, we look at the analytics, we can tell that. So those are where we make fact-based decisions versus, well, I still think my social media is doing, what I want it to do for my business. Really, why? Why do you think that? What do you think could be done better? Now, those are all thought perception-based questions, and they ultimately lead nowhere because, again, perception should not drive our decisions in business. But what we do is we look at the analytics and say, okay, well, statistically speaking, our clients or your clients engage more with this, so we need to do more of that. And again, that's where Google Analytics, big webmaster tools, Facebook Business Manager, which now does Facebook and Instagram analytics, look at any of your different social channels, look at your email marketing statistics. All of these will play into the big picture. And I stress this, during each month, you should really set aside time to understand and validate your numbers. Look at this and see what's coming to the website. How many people this month came from Facebook over to my website, and what did that experience look like? Do they spend 30 seconds on my site or 30 minutes on my site? Do they bounce off and not take any action, or are they visiting 10 pages? That data will tell you so much about what you need to do as a business. So again, analytics, super, super important for 2021, 2022. Last but not least, omnichannel. Omnichannel is something that, we've briefly gone over in the past, but I will tell you this, it's an amazing thing. Omnichannel is where multiple marketing platforms work in synergy to generate or drive results. And how does that work? Well, you can manually do it, or there are programs out there to do it. But again, I'm very much a hands-on person, so I'm not discrediting any of the technology out there. There are some brilliant marketing companies that have amazing products. Sometimes they're out of the price range of some people. There's a variety of reasons why I choose not to use them. But for me, I am very much a hands-on individual. So, I still, as a marketing guy, I still manually claim listings. I still manually set up social media pages. There's technologies out there that'll do all that stuff for you, but again, at a cost and at a certain result. And so for me, I'm accountable to me. I look at it like I'm accountable to my clients. So if I'm going to get, if somebody's not going to like something, it's going to be because I messed up. So anyway, but back to the point is, with omnichannel works it's a very simple concept. So we work in synergy, everything. So the social media works in synergy with the website, which works in synergy with the SMS campaign, which works in synergy with the email marketing, and it all goes round in circle. So omnichannel isn't a set, number of platforms that all work together. It's you creating a solid marketing strategy and making that basically move forward together. So an omni-channel approach might be something like, let's say we set up a campaign for a client, we design a new landing page for them, and let's just, I'll pick on auto repair. So let's just say we have an auto repair business, we're preparing for, the winter driving season. I'm just making stuff up. So maybe we create a new landing page for that. We have some billboards that we put up along the highway. We send out targeted direct mail to specific zip codes along that highway. We set up a Facebook retargeting campaign. We set up a pay-per-click campaign, and we do some social posts directed towards that and some blogs. All of those things together, all designed and working in unison with each other. They all complement each other. They all drive that same message home. That's an omni-channel approach. We're taking a variety of platforms and we're helping them all work together to generate traffic or generate a lead, if you will. So omni-channel is going to be a really, really big thing. Most common what you see it used as, again, the simplest form would be with social media and websites. That's and email campaigns. Those three together are probably your most common form of omni-channel. So we might take an email campaign, send out something relative to whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We do some social media posts around that. We create some social ads around that, and we create a blog around that, and we update our website to reflect whatever promotion we have going on. That would be an omni-channel approach because, again, that user is likely getting advertising from a variety of different platforms, all using the same message, which are driving them to a certain end result. So again, I think the big name I'd put behind that too is strategy. That's a huge one. You got to make sure you have a strategy behind what you do, and that ultimately is what's going to drive your omni-channel efforts. So, and if you have more questions about that, I know that's kind of an oversimplification. There's a lot of ways to do this and track and measure results. But again, just give us a call. We're happy to help. So, other than that, that's a lot of information for one meeting. So, Julie, any questions? Anything that you can think of?
That was very informative. Definitely a lot of information. So I would definitely recommend someone trying to, learn all this and kind of get going with their marketing trends to definitely, like Chris said, if you have any questions, just reach out. He is so accessible and he has all the information and he's more than happy to help. So that would be not a question, but a suggestion.
Yep. Well, awesome. It was awesome being here today. And, thanks for having us. Like I said, We're here. I got my staff here in the office in the Tech Accelerator. The building's back open. I'm super excited about that. So, if anybody has anything, feel free, drop in, give us a call, send us a chat on the website. We're available. We're happy to help.
Great, and we will see you back here in 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am. I look forward to it.
We'll be, if you want to, we'll be posting the new schedule next week for the upcoming webinars. And for the time being, we will still be recording them, so you can find them on the City of Surprise Economic Development YouTube channel. If you're on there checking things out, Chris has done, I can't even count how many webinars you've done for us. So go back and look at all of them. He's really quick and to the point, so they're not boring, they're not long, they're just very informative, and you'll get a lot of ideas. And thank you.
Yeah, no worries, hon. Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. See you next time.